I God. I Key. I am Adam. I Man.
I also key.
I am Netflix. Look at this beautiful animation. Netflix, I was kidding, please sponsor us, your animation is beautiful. Hey guys, welcome back to Opinionated, the show where we give you opinions of the content we are currently consuming. If you like the idea of hearing our opinions all the time, you can check out our video from last week where we talked about Isayama's interview, which sent AOT fans into a tizzy again. And if you like anime content in general, you should subscribe and click that bell icon because we put out new content almost every day, and we can start talking about my opinions on Record of Ragnarok, or as we call it in Weeb 101, RAR! Now, Record of Ragnarok, this was a topic that we covered in our Big If True a while ago, and if you want to see our Big If True series, which is just us talking about news with me talking in a weird voice, you can check out a link somewhere up here. And since the anime was supposed to come out anyway, we decided to wait for the anime to come out and then we would watch it and then review it. Well, here we are! Anime is out! We decided to do a podcast episode on it, which should be out by the time you watch this episode, so there'll be a link somewhere else also. Now, onto the manga, which we did read. That first. Now look, the idea was really interesting, okay? I really like stories about gods. Like Percy Jackson, loved it. And I really like the idea of gods and humans butting heads and fighting each other. And it's not like we are religious fanatics who are going to take offense at gods dying or losing or whatever you want to call it. But there are two major problems that I have with Record of Ragnarok. The first one being, the fights are really interesting until they're not. Like after the first fight, you just realize there's a formula set for each fight. Okay, here's how it goes. I use power. I get beat. Oops, now I get beat. Now I use ultimate move. Okay, both of us are burning out. Oh my god, it's a battle of stamina. And that's every fight. That's literally every fight. And was that a little confusing to understand? Because that's how confusing the manga actually is. You don't really get an idea of how the fights are happening because everything is just so jumbled up. Now the second point is the research or the lack of research. Or maybe it's just willful ignorance when it comes to portraying these gods. Now, again, we're not religious fanatics. Greek gods portrayed pretty well. Norse gods, that is good. The Japanese gods obviously are going to be done well, right? You can't reason Japan by disrespecting their own gods. The Indian gods, just terrible. Like they mess the whole system up. It makes no sense. If you know Hindu mythology, you know that this isn't even possible. But that's not the only thing. The whole power hierarchy between these gods just seems to be skewed in all ways. Like why does Zeus seem to be the king of all the gods everywhere, even though there are other gods who can rival him in power? I mean, except Buddha, because Buddha doesn't listen to anything he says because Buddha always follows his own path, which kind of makes sense, but he's shown to be a little egotistical. But it might just be the own representation of Buddha never straying off his own path and always staying true to himself. That's my boy. Again, overall, the manga is still worth a read. It's not like a bad manga. It's definitely not the worst we've ever read. It just gets a little boring because you know the formula, you know what's going to happen, and you can pretty much figure out who's going to win and who's not. Now, onto the anime. There's not much to say about the anime. Mainly because I didn't watch it fully or watch it at all. It's kind of a slideshow. It's a PowerPoint presentation. Microsoft, please sponsor. You see, this had a lot of potential to be like a beautiful fighting manga and anime that would have taken the anime world by storm. But Netflix jumbled it up. Okay, like it was handled very badly. Now, to be completely honest with you, it feels like the manga was written with the intent to make an anime out of it and make it a cash grab. That's not a bad thing on its own if the anime was at least good, but the anime was the biggest disappointment of 2021 and we're in the middle of a pandemic. Okay, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but anime fans are very unhappy, Netflix. We know a couple of people who know some video editing and animation who could do the work for you. But that's it for this episode of Opinionated because I don't want to hate on Netflix too much because they're going to sponsor us after this video. Like, share, follow, and we shall be back next week with more opinions.